Tom Aspinall and the MMA community are voicing frustration with the UFC heavyweight division, calling it one of the most uneventful eras in its history. Fans argue there are no true super fights or dream matchups, and the division that once delivered legendary battles now feels lifeless and lacking excitement.
I'm so pissed off that you haven't gone to the second round.
Do you know what? Me too. I'm not joking. That's always a backlash I get. Yeah, the biggest disadvantage that Tom's got is he's not had the rounds. Look, I completely agree. But that isn't my fault. That's the fault of my opponent. I'm hitting people and they're going over.
Yeah, exactly. You might go your whole entire career and never see a second round. If it was so easy, why isn't everybody else doing it?
Yep.
It ain't fucking easy.
Yeah, I don't take it personal, because if everyone could get a 2-minute knockout, they would.
Yeah.
And I'm actually never going in there and being like, I'm going to knock this guy out quick. Every opponent that's said to me, I'm going to drag him into deep water, I've knocked him out in the first minute.
You're like, okay, perfect. Drag me into deep waters. Like, you still got to drag the body out to deep waters. And if you drown on the way out there, that's your fucking bad.
This is the worst UFC heavyweight division since the Stone Age. There is no secret that the UFC heavyweight division at the moment is ass-tastic, which is a shame because we have one of the most exciting heavyweight champions in Tom Aspinall at the top, but it just feels like he doesn't really have any serious challengers ahead of him. I mean, Taito Iwasa is still ranked at number 10 despite being on a 5-fight losing streak. That goes to show you that the heavyweight division is down bad, and I think it's probably the worst it has been since the UFC heavyweight Stone Age era, which went down between 2005 and 2006, because after the young and exciting heavyweight Frank Mir was stripped of his title due to a motorcycle accident, the heavyweight title bounced back and forth between Tim Sylvia and Andrei Arlovsky for a couple of years, and many regard this period in the heavyweight division as the worst in UFC history. And now I feel like the current heavyweight division is pretty close to that era, but what makes it slightly better is having a champion like Tom Aspinall on top. But what do you think?
Honestly, bro, as you go down the list here, a lot of these guys, Spivak lost recently, Tabora's lost recently, Derek Lewis is on a win streak, but I think
this division is shit.
It's cooked, bro. It's cooked.
Like,
Teixeira's lost.
Tom B's gone. He's cooking for years.
Yeah.
If Tom B's gone, Almeida's the only maybe other problem.
That's not a problem for Tom.
Nah.
Tom Aspinall may hold the belt, but fans feel his options are uninspiring. He's already beaten most top contenders, and the remaining names are either too far down the rankings or lack excitement. With known Ngannou, Prime Stipe, Brock Lesnar, or Cain Velasquez type spectacles left, matchups like Aspinall versus Cyril Gane just don't.
Chill, we've been screaming about this Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane for a long time. UFC 321, Tom minus 325, Gane plus 260. We finally got the fight, but the world doesn't seem to believe, Chael, that it's a close fight. And I don't really agree with that line. I think this fight is much closer. Tom Aspinall minus 325, Cyril Gane plus 265.
Tom Aspinall is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. What's the first step for him?
You give him the one contender, Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight, that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if John Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout once again.
I think you're absolutely right. Fight that makes sense. Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane. Let's make that happen. Cyril Gane is, people forget how fantastic he is. A guy that can kind of float around the octagon, touch you, kick you, hit you with elbow. He's just a complete game. But man, Tom's movement, his boxing, speed, and his power, it's very, very difficult to doubt this man anymore.
Dana was in here and he says you're never too far away from a title shot, right? Just because your name value, the fights you put on and stuff like that. Is that something you would like to start climbing towards? Or are you happy just fighting these young up-and-comers and getting your a seemingly easy win?
Seemingly easy win? He was the king of the Texacab drives in Brazil, man.
Wow.
But no, I don't want an easy fighting like that. I want, of course, I would like to do one more run at the title. That'd be good.
I think he's awesome, man. I think he's awesome. I think he should go on and have a wonderful career.
Do you think that he needs you?
No, I don't think he needs me. I think when you want something bad enough, and if you get it, it could be the worst thing that could ever happen to you.
Many fans argue this matchup lacks the same energy and danger as the heavyweight classics of the past. Still, Aspinall versus Cain is a massive event in Abu Dhabi. The controversy, however, comes from the belief that Cain doesn't truly deserve the shot. Aspinall has openly accused him of ducking in the past, turning down fights, and avoiding challenges when opportunities were presented.
Dismissed me on multiple occasions, and I'm not the first guy that he's dismissed. I'm not the first guy that he's ducked. It's out there for people to see. The reason that I got the Pavlovich fight was because Cyril didn't want it. So he ducked Pavlovich. He then duck Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades has been on record saying that. I asked for him years ago, didn't want it then. I then asked for him in Paris. They flew me over. We tried to make that fight. He didn't want it then. And we'll see what the UFC want to do. I don't know what his aspirations are. He might really want to be an actor. So he's thinking, oh, fuck this MMA stuff. I'm going to go and be the French Arnold Schwarzenegger here. I'm going to crack on with that. So fair play to Cyril, though. Good luck to him. I've got nothing against Cyril. He's had a few opportunities to fight me, and he's turned it down. That's the facts of it. I'm not saying he's ducking me or he's not ducking me. Right now, he's being an actor, and I wish him all the best in that. Like, he didn't put up any resistance in that fight. He lost it really easily. You can't then come back and beat the number 8 or 9 guy and then go straight back to fight John Jones. That's just not how it works, man. You can't be like, oh yeah, I deserve a title shot now. No, you don't. You've had 2 goals. You lost them both.
Well, I am the best heavyweight in the world, but I want to show everyone that I'm the best heavyweight in the world. Cyril Gane's lost 2 title shots, and I want to give him his 3rd.
With Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane, Jailton, Almeida and Volkov being the co-main event, if they are, just being on the fight card, they're going to be a backup fighter if anything happens to the main event. What's your thoughts on Volkov versus Gane? Sorry, Aspinall versus Gane.
I mean, I think it's the next best thing that we could get right now with John Jones not being able to do it and stepping away. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what Tom's plan is going to be, because I think on the feet, they're pretty evenly matched. I think it could be fun on the feet, but I think there's definitely a huge advantage for Aspinall when it comes to the wrestling and the grappling. And I think he'd be silly to not at least attempt to make it a bit of a grappling match and try to get the ground and pound, take him down. And we'll see. If he can defend takedowns, it could be a lot of fun. But if not, I think Tom can make some quick work. But there's a lot of pressure on Tom, man. We were talking about it on the pre-show this weekend that, you didn't get the Jones fight. You waited all this time, and now you've got to fight somebody else. And it's always tough because you want to win that one to really prove to everybody that, yeah, you are that guy. You are the great. You are the best. You're the reason John didn't want to take this fight, blah, blah, blah. If you go and lose that one, you just...
Yeah. Well, we haven't had guests on for a little bit because I've just been all over the place and very, very busy and all the rest of it. So I'll reach out to Tom and see if we can get him on next week, and we'll start getting some guests on again. Tom isn't the type of guy that
fought Sergey Pavlovich. He said he gonna beat John Jones. He moved like Muhammad Ali. I said, Mike, this has to be a gimmick. He goes, Daniel, this fight is gonna last 2 minutes between him and Sergey. I said, bro, Sergey's knocked out 8 dudes in a row. Tom goes and knocks him out. Tom leaves to the back. Bisping's with him like he's part of the camp.
Coach fired back recently, calling Tom a liar, adding another layer of drama. But for the fans, this matchup feels like filler, a stopgap fight until something bigger comes along.
There's the guys who I've trained with from my experience, who in the gym are absolute killers, absolute world beaters, and they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up, and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself, anytime there's pressure on me, that's when I've done my most devastating performances. Talk's just talk to me, mate. It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, we're both going to take our shirts off, get a pair of gloves on, and go in there and see who wins on October 25th. So it's not really going to change anything, to be honest.
And then I had his head coach, Fernan Lopez, on the program. And, it was all going kind of well. And then it started to get a little spicy on his part, where he said that your talk has been annoying, that you've been whining, that it's not true, that you guys weren't in talks to fight, 3-4 times in the past. Did you see any of these comments, and did you have any sort of response to them?
Well, somebody told me about them. I didn't see them. I'm trying to. I try and stay off social media when I've got a fight coming up. So yeah. I'm not like reading through all the time. My response to them is, with all due respect, I respect coaches so much, especially really high level coaches. But with all due respect, like, his opinion is quite irrelevant to the situation. Like, I'm just telling the facts from what I know and my point of view. I'm not trying to get under anyone's skin or anything like that. Like, that's the reality that I lived. But irrelevant to what happened or didn't happen, like, that's in the past, and we're fighting each other now. We're fighting each other in October, so irrelevant to what anybody says, who's annoyed and who isn't annoyed, and whose feelings are hurt and whose feelings aren't hurt. We're going to fight each other and settle it regardless, so it doesn't it's pretty irrelevant, with all due respect.
One thing that I thought was really interesting, and I don't know if he was trying to play mind games, but he said there's never been more pressure on anyone than the pressure that will be on you come October 25th because of all the talk over the past year of you being the real champ and John Jones ducking and all that. You have to sort of validate all of this with a dominant win. What do you make of that statement?
That's great, because I fight really, really, really well under pressure. You know, there's a couple of types of guys. I've been around martial arts for my whole life, near enough at this point. And, you know, there's the guys who I've trained with from my experience who in the gym are absolute killers, absolute world beaters. And they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up, and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself who are not that good in the gym, but get under the lights, get under the pressure with all the chips on the table, and they get in there and do things that they would never be able to do in the gym. And that is exactly what I do. And I feel like that's one of my biggest strengths. So anytime there's pressure on me, that's when I've done my...
Gane's coach recently fired back, calling Tom Aspinall, which only added fuel to the drama. Still, many fans see this matchup as nothing more than a filler fight, a stopgap until a truly bigger heavyweight showdown comes along.
I mean, he's one of the most beautiful strikers in the heavyweight division. He does wild stuff. You ever see how he throws that front kick from a side stance? And he throws it like a twisting kick? He stands like southpaw, right? And he bobs around like this. And he's totally sideways, and he twists his foot out like a twisting kick. He did a lot of them against Tai Tuivasa. He's so fast, man. He just does this weird thing where he stands sideways, and instead of the front kick going like this, like straight out, the front kick goes like this. So
I know. Okay, I see what you're saying.
It.
Yeah.
So his knee when he lands is almost like sideways. It's just so unusual for a heavyweight, that kind of movement. But he'll show it totally sideways.
It's a little trick.
Almost like a crescent kick or something like that.
Did you see the Derek Lewis Cyril Gane fight? Cyril Gane beat the shit out of him. Cyril Gane, who's 6'5", 247 pounds, moves like a 170 pounder. He's bouncing like Wonder Boy. Completely changed the standard of heavyweight striking.
Can Cyril Gane beat Tom Aspinall?
Cyril Gane has a wrestling problem. Imavov uses a jab to blind Gane's vision, immediately changing levels and shooting a clean double leg, wrapping the knees to take him down. He rides Gane's back, sagging his weight and returning him to the mat every time he tries to stand, as Gane attempts to break the grip by pushing down on the hands and running laterally to create space. Imavov trips out the far leg, regaining dominant top position. When Gane tries to scramble up again, he's caught in a tight guillotine. Can Cyril Gane beat Tom Aspinall?
It's almost an unfair comparison, right? When you talk about pressure versus pressure, everybody's under tremendous pressure. But I guess when you kind of look at it from not just pressure, but potential legacy and career and what's on the line, I think it's hard to not go with Tom Aspinall because the heavyweight division is on the line. If Gane goes in and beats him, no disrespect to Gane, love the guy, the heavyweight division loses a lot of respect. Even if Tom goes out there and it's a close fight, or he gets dropped and then has to come back or something, like, the heavyweight division has so little respect right now, probably deservedly so, I think. You know, with Gane getting his third title shot in a couple years, like, Tom has to show that he is the heavyweight division. You know, he has to prove that to the world. Like, I am, you know, the heavyweight division's not just shit, but like, I'm so good that the heavyweight division is shit, right? This is kind of his thing that he has to go out there and prove to the world. If he goes out there and loses to Gane, you know, the division already is not respected. That brings Tom down significantly, I think, right? And of course, you know, the potential John Jones fight, which is whatever, who knows, right? Like, how he beats Gane, assuming he does, may play a factor too. Like, if it turns out to be a close fight, again, John's going to be on his phone with Twitter open watching this fight, like, just waiting for Tom to fuck up and get dropped, get leg kicked and limping a little bit, or, you know what I mean?
John can't wait for that moment.
Cyril Gane has a wrestling problem. Imavov uses a jab to blind Gane's vision, immediately changing levels and shooting a clean double leg, wrapping the knees to take him down. He rides Gane's back, sagging his weight and returning him to the mat every time he tries to stand, as Gane attempts to break the grip by pushing down on the hands and running laterally to create space. Imavov trips out the far leg, regaining dominant top position. When Gane tries to scramble up again, he's caught in a tight guillotine. Can Cyril Gane beat Tom Aspinall?
So if Tom Aspinall wins, he'll further solidify himself as the future of the heavyweight division, but it also exposes the lack of fresh, high-stakes opponents. After Gane, what's left? A Pavlovich rematch? Another clash with blades? None feel like true blockbuster bouts. On the flip side, if Gane pulls off the upset and outstrikes Aspinall, the division becomes even more uncertain, leaving fans questioning the direction of heavyweight MMA.